you were afraid,
Yes.
and yet you did it.
Well,
You're doing it.
it's a growing experience, and growing is a scary thing, and it is in everybody's life. And after you've been divorced, you feel like you've been kicked down enough. So where do you have to go from there? I mean, you have to do something. And in my case, I went back to school, and I'm still growing.
That's right. That's what the radio station is started from, because I'm a speaker and I want to help women and I want to show them. I've been kicked down a lot, you know that.
Yep.
And sometimes you feel like there's nobody that has been through what you've been through, but there's so many that have. And somehow we've all made it through that. But at the time, you feel so isolated and alone, thinking that nobody could understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And that's what started me speaking. That's what started me writing. And then I started thinking, where do we go when we're so isolated and depressed and we don't even want to get out of bed? What do? Where can you go? You don't want to go anywhere. So you can listen to a radio station that does nothing but uplift and empower you.
That's the idea.
And that's what W4 Divas was born from that idea. So when you turn it on, you never know what's playing. And that's purposeful. Because when you turn it on, it might be exactly what you want to hear, right? Whether it's Chef on a Mission to lighten your mood because he's fun and joyful, or Passionate Pundits, which is about health and your body's welfare as well as your spiritual welfare, or Holly's show, the angel card readings. That angel card reading is for whoever's listening right then. It's not for a special person. Yeah. And so it might be and it is exactly what you need to hear. You need to take it. But if you should find something that you want to investigate further, or if there's a show like that, the oil show that we have, it's about those oils, that would be a show to go back and listen to the archived shows, because she gives recipes and stuff. And, you might be wondering, man, I really want to start cleaning organically. I don't even know where to begin. And you turn it on and there's the oil show giving you recipes on how to clean and care for your pet. She had one about fur babies. So you just never know. And then you can go and listen to all those archive shows. So there's everything, a little thing for everybody. Yeah. Right. So why did you start coming to the Devolution? What drew you to us?
Well, I remember you first saying something about having a radio station when you were at the chamber doing stuff. And yes, I did want to see. And the first time it was a little scary, because I was going up the stairs and all the people were leaving that was in the building. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be locked in.
We used to be in a different location.
Yeah. Okay. So I get up there and you offer me wine, and we were having snackies, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is good. I can stay for this. All right. Okay. And then I decided, well, maybe I can contribute to these snackies. And
yep, you brought food for a long time.
Well, it seemed to go better when I would bring food, and that would be, type of serving and being helpful to you as well as being helpful to the guest. And that's what, my thing is. So I enjoyed doing that. And then you moved over here, and this building is just on the street, and everything is just going on so much. We don't even have snackies before air anymore.
Sometimes I do.
Do you?
I make sure I eat now, though, because I'm eating healthy, so I pack my stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So in 2015, I wrote down on the chalkboard at the end of the year that I wrote 2016, and then under it I wrote a year of visibility. And look at where we are. We have glass on 3 sides. We're on a main drag across from the post office.
I don't think that you could get more public exposure than what you've got right now. I mean, your sign on the street is just wonderful. I can see it from way down the block.
Really? That's cool. So what drew you? What made you stay with us? What was it that...
It was mostly the comradeship. That was nice. And I think that I was, at the time, searching for some place to be. And the girls gave me a place to be, and that's what I really wanted to be.
And you were ready for a change. You were ready to start growing and come out of whatever funk you were in.
That was a pretty
because
bad
that's easy to get in a funk when you go through stuff like that.
It is.
And I don't care who you are, you go through some kind of funk. And if you tell me that you've never, I'd call you a liar.
Well, some people have a way of putting it off, and they'll do something or they'll be
That's
really
called
busy.
denial.
Yes, denial. But eventually it hits you.
And harder if you put it off.
That's true. That's true. So what you need to do is accept.
Right.
Accept.
Right. So when I'm coaching, one of the ways that I screen my clients is I ask them why they want to change. You know, they'll pick things that they want to change. They make a list. Mm-hmm. It might be lose weight. It might be to get out more. It might be countless things. But if they say because my husband wants me to,
that's not a good
or
one.
because I want to change for my children,
they're not changing for themselves.
And they may alter their some behavioral patterns, but they'll go right back to how they were because they're not changing because they want to, because they see a need to change. Just like when people go on specific eating plans, you know, like
they don't stick to it.
They don't stick to it because they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it because it's the perceived way to look. You know, it's, if I look like this, then I'll be able to do this. If I lose this weight, then I'll be able to, instead of, I need to lose this weight to make me feel better, live longer and healthier. And I'm doing it for me. Nobody else. I'm doing it for me. Then you stick to it. And it's the same with any change. Any change.
Yeah, it's a big thing. And, you know, did I tell you about that psych class that I had last semester?
You can tell me again, even if you did.
Okay, all right. I had 2 classes that I was having problems with. One was math, of course, and one was psychology. And because I really didn't understand it and didn't know what's going on, but they study patterns and how certain things are the scale of things. First, it's one rung and then the other rung. And I specifically remember Maslow's ladder and how you have to have safety and security before you can obtain enlightenedness. And these are the things that, you know, we take for granted. We don't think of ourselves as doing that unless you get kicked in the teeth, and then you're looking for that safety, that security. And once you have that safety and that security, then you can go on and say, okay, all right, well, now I want to change something about me. And you can release it a lot easier when you're safe and secure inside your own self.
Right. Right. And my whole coaching approach is actually based on that ladder.
Yeah.
It's
Humanistic?
I coach from within.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that I do is ask a bunch of questions to see how safe and secure you truly are.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, then that's the first thing that needs to be built.
Yep.
Or you can't improve. There's a Zingy.
Hey.
Hi, come and join us. That's the beauty of live radio. We have Zingy Deb
Just walking off the
Z
street.
walking in, which is always fun. So we're talking about the devolution. We have no scheduled guests, so it's like us talking about us.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
About us.
Yeah.
So Juliana is talking about why she started hanging around with us to begin with, and
Well, I think I really wanted safety and security, and
Right.
that's why I was looking for girls to be around. Being around girls was what I was looking for.
you know, every philosophy that I've ever read always says that you need to the women need to congregate with their own sex. We need to be around other women because you can't go to a man, and I'm not saying anything bad about men at all.
No, but
you
we
can't
need
go
that
to
connection.
a man and present a problem and without him wanting to solve it.
Yeah.
Do you find that true?
Well, yes, that's their nature.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Mm-hmm. So, and there's nothing like having a problem solved by a man that you may have not even thought of that way to solve it, because our brains are totally different. Women are from Mars. No, men are from Mars. They're from Mars.
We're from Venus.
We're from Venus, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But women will listen and hear you out, and in the end kind of say, well, what do you need from me? Without even saying that, but what can I do to help you?
It's usually
basically.
in their eyes.
Right.
It's usually in the eyes. Everybody has that.
And just that hand held. How many times have you sat with a woman and just heard her cry and just held her hand, and when she was all done, she felt so much better.
Yeah.
It's cathartic without we don't interrupt and say, well, did you try this? Well, do this. And men, it's fine that you do that. But women have to realize that that's how that conversation is going to go.
Yeah.
That's the way that street is going to lead, and there's nothing you can do. So be ready for it. When you're ready to go down that street, go down it. Yeah. But if you just need someone to hear what you're saying and really hear what you're saying, then we need other women. And throughout the civilizations, different civilizations, women would congregate. While the hunters were out, the women would congregate and raise the kids together. It's the way it was.
Yes, it was.
And probably still is in many civilizations.
Yes.
Not ours, though. We're out there
doing stuff. Yeah, because
hunting too.
We used to be in the kitchen doing dishes on Thanksgiving.
Barefoot and pregnant.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My, how things have changed.
Did you see the Today Show?
No.
They had a ceremony, and Sharon Stone was the winner. But it was about women being there for women and girls.
Nice.
And they're having a yearly presentation where they're going to nominate and pick a person, a woman, that is doing something in her own community to help other women, support other women, start action, and help girls.
Nice.
I couldn't believe it. And they, of all the
that's very heartwarming.
It is. It's an awesome thing. And I guess, although I never would have imagined it, Sharon Stone was the winner today. However, she must have done a lot.
I'm going to have to look it up.
Yes, look it up, because she apparently has done an awful lot for helping women and girls.
Isn't that something?
Yes, so it's a movement. It is a movement.
I like that. And we had this conversation just last week. There's a lot of people right now, my vision of this. Mm-hmm. What I want to do here at the Devolution, and it's to have classes, to have women come here and hang out for different things like that. How much fun was that chocolate class on Sunday?
Oh, I know it. I was so tired I could hardly move, but I have to tell you, I loved it.
We had so much fun.
I just have to get the notes
fabulous.
from it. 2 hours of sleep and I'm here.
Really, I didn't know that. You did good. I would have never known that. But, that's the thing. We can do some fun things. We can do some learning things. But it's a place for to just come and hang out and be yourself and not be judged or ridiculed or anything. It's just a place for women to gather. It's a coaching and networking center.
I saw a notebook the other day in my basement because I'm getting ready to get rid of all this stuff.
You're purging.
And one of the notebooks was Women and Anger. And it's a workbook that women can buy. And we could have a group for women to come in and help with.
Release that.
Absolutely. It's page by page by page. Women and Anger. I said, oh my God. And
you should bring it in and let's look at it and see what we can figure out. That might be a good thing in the fall. Another book I've been wanting to do together is The Artist's Way. It brings back it makes you set aside time for yourself to be creative.